if you want to talk, guys, you want to ask questions about it or anything, let me know in the Unizen chat. Okay, so if you want to ask me anything about this, it's going to be solely Unizen and the DSR stuff. You need to let us know in Unizen chat. Right, so I'm going to start talking about it. So DSR was something that they brought in place back in June 2021, I believe. It was... We were supposed to all have our tokens. So private sale investors were supposed to have their tokens by the end of 2021. That was in the contract, the TSA, token sale agreement, that all Unizen private sale investors would have their tokens by like December of that year, I think it was. And in June of that year, so about 7 months earlier, they decided that they were going to not do that anymore. And they were going to put in something else in place called DSR, Dynamic Sales Release. And the idea, which was fine, was they were going to release tokens based on increased amounts of liquidity and catalyst events, right? So the idea was they release a bit of news or they get, lots of liquidity and lots of volume on that day, and they would release a certain amount of private sale tokens, which in theory sounds good, right? It sounds fine. And I think a lot of people, when this happened, was a bit like, okay, but let's just see how it shakes out. But the problem was that it never happened. They didn't release any tokens from June last year, from about May last year, 2021. They didn't release any tokens to any private sale investors. So 8 months later than when they was all supposed to have all of them, they didn't release any more after about May. And I think with this, like, it's easy to be like, fuck private sale investors, like, fuck those guys. They just want their tokens so they could dump on everyone. I get it. Like, I get that whole fucking sentiment from people. But you have to ask yourself, like, the reason that this project exists is because they got the funding from private sale investors. It's the only reason that Unizen is a thing. Because they got the funding. They wouldn't have been able to do half of the shit they've done or any of it if they didn't get the money from the private sale investors. So, and you put yourself in their position. If you was a private sale investor, you signed up through this agreement that you would have all your tokens by the end of December, and it didn't happen, and you were still waiting for your tokens. So you need to put yourself in that position, okay, rather than just being like, fuck those guys, you know what I mean? So that was the idea. Toxie's saying no. Can you hear me? Toxie's thinking, why am I not in the Czech chat? That's what he's thinking. So, right. We'll get back on track. So yeah, that was DSR was in place, okay? And it didn't work. Clearly didn't work. So about 4 hours ago, we were, maybe even a bit longer, probably about, it's been such a long day. We were put into a chat, a select number of private sale investors, the bigger investors and the bigger supporters of the project over the years. We were put into a chat, and we were given access by the team to the DSR new proposal that was a part of the AMA that some of you may have saw. And we got to go through it. We got to read the proposal. And it was unanimously decided in, nice and not so nice terms that this proposal was absolute bullshit. And I'll explain why. First off, so I'm just reading Robertson's thing. Everyone, I'll just go for the team since the questions are more less directed. So it would be better to answer with the post. Right, so we were given access. We read through it. Everyone was unhappy. Everyone was unhappy with it. So to begin with, the new DSR will play out over 2.5 years until investors will have all of their tokens, right? And there will be a rate of emissions of 0.11%. It's so complicated just to begin with, okay? It's a very complicated proposal. So, as it was explained to us in the proposal, it will take 2.5 years to get all your tokens. 0.11 daily emissions rate. Everyone. So you would have to take your tokens out of DMAS, the staking platform, and put them into the DSR portal. So in doing that, the APR on DMAS would go up. So people who are newer investors and don't have the ZCX holder token, I'm using my fingers as quotations. At the moment, ZCX HT is taking up a lot of the APR in DMAS, which is understandably a problem, which is one of the reasons why we wanted this situation sorted, because new investors coming to the platform or to Unizen are getting shitty APR because ZCX HT is there and it's taking up a lot of the stuff. So their solution is to, okay, if you want your tokens, the people who invested, the private sale investors, they have to move their tokens from DMAS into DSR, into the portal. So once they put their tokens into the portal, the APR should theoretically go up on DMAS and all the newer investors get better APR, which is fine. But the private sale investors lose any access to those rewards. So once they're taken off the DMAS platform and put into the DSR portal, fucking it's such a headache, into the DSR portal, they're not getting rewards anymore. They're getting no rewards. And those tokens have to be locked up for a period of 2.5 years. That's how long it would take to get all of your tokens. So you're getting no rewards for 2.5 years. And, so what they also have, honestly, guys, this is so fucking complicated. So what they also have is every 6 months, they're going to release a tranche of tokens. They're going to make it available so people who want to claim their tokens can get those tokens at the end of the 6 months. But the problem here is that those token rewards unlock on a daily basis, whatever it is, over that 6 months. But during those 6 months, the community, not private sale investors, regular ZCX holders, get to vote whether those tokens become claimable for the private sale investors at the end of that 6 months. So at the end of that 6 months, all of those unlocked tokens that people are getting because they put it into the DSR portal, at the end of that 6 months, it will be voted by the community whether those tokens become claimable or not. So you could put it into the DSR portal. You can spend 6 months thinking, I'm going to get my tokens at the end of this 6 months. And then the community, the ZCX community, can vote that no, they don't actually get those tokens. So, crazy, right? Exactly. Fuck off, OPS. You're such a troll. So they can vote whether you get those tokens or not. Okay. And it also means that if the community just keeps voting no, exactly, Sean has hit the nail on the head there. So if the community just keeps voting no every 6 months, then they won't get their tokens until the 2.5 years are up, which is ridiculous. It's an insane proposal for 2 reasons. Okay, one, it completely fucks over the private sale investors who funded the project from the very start. 2, the reason why I was saying release the tokens now. It's a shitty situation to be in. I completely understand it, right? Release the tokens now and get this dark cloud over with. It's gone. The sell pressure's gone. Exactly. Nuke the price. Build up from there. You've got a $200 million war chest that you just got from Gem Capital. So do that now and build up from there. Obviously, some people don't like that idea. I get it. It's controversial. But, okay, fine. But what they're actually doing in this scenario is the community are going to keep voting to not unlock these tokens every 6 months. Because why would they? Why the hell would they want to affect their investment and dilute their tokens? Because some other guys might get them and they're going to do the right thing. It's like, no, they will never do it. They will never unlock, they will never vote to allow private sale investors to claim them. So all you're doing is putting that off for 2.5 years. And by the time that 2.5 years finishes, two things happen. Okay. One, they unlock all of those tokens at the 2.5 years. So you're having the exact same situation you have now, and you're just putting it off 2.5 years. So then you're just going to have that exact same situation then. But in all you've achieved in that time frame is piss off all of those private sale investors, and they're definitely going to dump then. They're definitely going to 100% dump their tokens at that point, rather than now where they'll be like, it's too cheap, I don't want to do it now, I'm going to hold on. Or the second thing is they do is, don't get me started on the whole Gilbert thing, okay? Because I could go down a fucking rabbit hole here, and with information I don't want to. Honestly, you guys have no idea how fucking hard I've been working on this shit to try and sort this Unizen mess out. Okay, honestly, it's a fucking headache. Right. The second thing they could do after that 2.5 years is up is they can say, shit, they could be in this exact same situation now where they go, shit, the tokens are going to be released. We need to change the DSR thing again and put another 2 years in place. There's nothing stopping them doing that. They've done it just now. Why would they not do it again? Because they're going to be in the exact same situation they're in now in 2.5 years. So what's to stop them doing it again in 2.5 years? Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna speak on this. Sorry, I'm gonna bite my tongue on that. So they're just delaying the inevitable, Sean. That's exactly it, right? So we in this chat that we got put in to give feedback on this proposal, unanimously we hated it because it just delays the inevitable. The dark cloud remains, and it is completely unfair to the people who funded the project. Okay. Whether you care about private investors or not, it doesn't matter. Okay. This is coming from, at some point, it's the ethics of the team to do this, to fuck over their private sale investors is not good. It sets a terrible precedent. So what we said was, this is completely unreasonable. Okay. And we were giving feedback. We spent about 3 hours, all of us, just giving feedback on how can we, what would be a better solution? Because there was an AMA coming up, and we were saying we need a better solution. This cannot go out in its current state because it is completely unfair and it doesn't solve anything. So the solution that we came up with was, instead of having a 2.5 year DSR, you have a 1 year DSR. So over 12 months, you can do a daily drip of tokens. So in real time, over that year, the tokens are going to become unlocked through a smart contract in real time. So every minute or whatever it is, some tokens get unlocked, but it's a fraction of tokens, right? And instead of allowing the community to vote on when those tokens can be claimed, which is fucking ridiculous, there is no vote. There's no vote, and the community can just, claim those tokens and sell them when they want. Well, the private sale investors can claim them and sell them when they want. What that does is you're not having a predetermined time where everyone gets their tokens at once and dumps them all at once, which I guess was the thing they were afraid of in the beginning. So if anyone can just claim and sell them when they want, then no one's doing it at the same time, and it's just, there's a trickle of sell pressure. Okay. So it was a 1 year DSR with a daily drip, no community votes because it's mental. You can still move all of the DMAS ZCX holder tokens out of DMAS and put them into DSR. And the private sale investors would be giving up a year's worth of DMAS rewards to do so. It's still a compromise. It's still a massive compromise because they're locking up their tokens for another year, and they're still getting no DMAS rewards. But it means that the community are getting higher APR, and it's better more attractive for the project, and it's better for the project. So it was a compromise. But by having a year's DSR with a daily drip, no community votes because it's fucking ridiculous. All the DMAS tokens get moved into DSR if people want to. And there's a clear year's timeline on when this dark cloud, this bullshit is going to be over with. And just allow people to claim when they want. So there's not a set time when everyone dumps their tokens. People just sell them when they are. Or when people get their tokens, they can move them easily into DMAS and earn the rewards because the APR is going up. That was the proposal we put towards them. And they completely 100% ignored it. And they went ahead with this horrible proposal that they did anyway. And it was another slap in the face to private sale investors because, one, we got fucked over when the DSR got implemented in the first place. It didn't happen. Secondly, they got messed over with this proposal. Thirdly, when we had the chance to give our feedback and put a better proposal in, we got a slap in the face then. So 3 times, 3 slaps. Triple slaps, doesn't feel good. The really stupid thing as well is if you really think of it, private sale investors were supposed to have their tokens by the end of 2021. Okay? All gone. Now, they at the earliest they'll get all their tokens is 2025. Now, if I can almost guarantee that anyone signing the agreement to fund the project back then would not have done so if they knew they weren't getting their tokens for 4 years. Because crypto changes too much. It just changes way too quickly. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether a project's going to be a success or not. It's crazy. And the DSR portal, so putting your tokens into the DSR portal, it only, the 2.5 years only begins once you put those tokens into the portal. Okay? So you can say, I'm going to put 25% of my tokens from DMAS into the portal, the DSR portal, and I'm going to let them sit there for the 2.5 years, and in 2.5 years, I'll get those tokens, okay? But the other 75% you didn't put in, say a year's down the line, you say, well, I'm going to put another 25% in. Then you put that 25% in, but it's not like a year's gone by, so you only have 1.5 years remaining. The 2.5 years starts again from that point. The 2.5 years starts from the point you put the tokens into DSR, which is mad. So you could say, I'm going to put some in now, I'll put some in a year, I'll put some in 2 years. So I'll put some in 2 years. You won't get those tokens until like 2027, which is madness. It's madness. That's just what we've been dealing with today. We've tried really hard. I've tried really hard to try and get this DSR situation sorted because it's horrible situation for the community. It's a horrible situation for private sale investors, and it's just terrible look for the team. And I wanted it solved, but it's just been made worse. And I really tried, guys. I really fucking tried. And people can say whether my intentions are, oh, he just wants all of his tokens. He just wants this, just wants that. I don't give a shit. Okay. I know what my intentions were. I know a lot of people who've been affected by this. And I know a lot of people in Unizen and want the project to succeed like I do. But this is just absolutely insane. And it just comes from the leadership. Like, the leadership decisions are fucking terrible around this proposal. And it should never have gone out in the first place. And I really fucking tried, guys. Like, I really did. Like, I spent a lot of time, a lot of late nights, not sacrifices, but like not going out with my family, not going on days out to try and like go on calls or to sort this shit out. You know what I mean? It's stuff that people won't see, and they'll just be like, oh, he just wants his tokens. People won't see that. So it is what it is, I guess. And that is why I'm very unhappy with the DSR proposal. I know everyone, all the core supporters are, all the private sale investors are, and they need to change something. They really need to change it, But I don't think they will, because I don't think they genuinely care too much about what the private investors think. I think they just care about newer investors, I guess. Which just comes down to morals, doesn't it? It just comes down to morals and who you are as a company. And if they're the people leading the project, then it worries me. It really worries me. So there you go. You see that, how, you know, look at it however you want. If you've got any questions, I'll stay on and answer some questions. I'll read through the chat a little bit here as well, and just seeing if anyone said anything. So so Sean says, if you release everything, price will nuke and we go down 97%. Look, it's not the best solution. Okay, release all the tokens now. It's not. But you'd rather do it at the bottom of the bear market, rather than at the top. Okay, where it just crushes the fucking price. Because it's only going to go down a shit ton then anyway. So that's why I think the year DSR proposal, the one we put in place, was actually better. But they didn't listen. So I would rather have that solution where we are still compromising. The private sale investors are still compromising, but they're not, you know, it's still not ideal, but it's still a compromise, rather than, yeah, just dumping all the tokens, I guess. But it's in 2.5 years' time, that's going to happen anyway. So if you're in Unizen now, you still know that in 2.5 years or at some point, those tokens are going to be dumped, which is not what anyone wants. It's not what anyone wants. Like, that's the exact situation we're trying to stop now, you know? Said TX at 22p, cheaper than a Freddo. Freddo inflation, that's how you measure inflation, by how much of a Freddo is. Once a Freddo hits 30p, like, if you don't know what Freddo is, if you're not in the UK, it's a little tiny chocolate bar, a little frog. It's a little frog chocolate bar. It's quite small, but they used to be 10p, and everyone used to be like, fucking love Freddo. So you can get chocolate bar for 10p. And they've just been going up in price ever since. And now it costs you like 25p for a Freddo, which is madness. If you don't know what Freddo is, just leave the chat. Exactly. So if you got any questions, guys, let me know. If not, we'll maybe cut it short. But yeah, I just wanted to explain a little bit about why I'm not exactly happy at the moment with all of this, and why a lot of people aren't, and maybe why the price is doing what it's doing. You know. But fuck, man, I really fucking tried. Do I think Unizen will get sued? I don't know. That's the thing. I know that there are people who have discussed DSR, previous DSR, saying that this is unethical, and saying that they would think about it. The problem is that the team are in Singapore, I think. They're not US based. It would be pretty hard to sue them. But doesn't mean that they can't be. And I don't know. The answer is I don't know. You know, I won't be suing them. You know, I believe it or not, people can take it whatever way they want. I want what's best for the company. But when they keep fucking you over like that, it's very hard to just keep, you know, putting your faith in them. And that's where we're at the moment. But in terms of being sued, I would imagine that at some point someone might try it. There are a lot of people who invested in this project who have a hell of a lot more money invested than I do. And those people, I imagine, are very fucking unhappy with how this has been handled over the past 18 months. Are they willing to change the proposal based on backlash from the community, says the troll, OPS. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we were sure that they would see the backlash from the private sale investors and have to rethink it, because we told them what would happen and how bad the community would view it. But they haven't listened, and that's a real fucking shame. So I don't know. I think something needs to give. If not, then this is just going to be the situation. And I don't think anyone's happy. I don't think anyone's happy with this, to be honest. Maybe some people will be, because they won't care about the private sale investors, and it's fair enough. But it's very unethical. from the project, from the team. Yeah, it's pretty much where we're at. It's a shitty situation all around, guys. Real shitty situation. I fucking have so much like faith in their potential, but the way that they've handled certain things has been so bad. It becomes a point of like, I feel like you know, a wife that's in an abusive relationship, and all my mates are telling me, you know, I'll just leave him because he's been abusive. I'll just leave him. And I'm like making excuses for him. Be like, oh, but he's nice sometimes. And oh, you know, like, no, sometimes he treats me really good. You know what I mean? It's at the end of the day, it's just like, you're making excuses. You know, you're making excuses. That's how it feels for a project that is not doing the right things, you know? And it sucks even more when you think they've got a £200 million investment, $200 million investment, and they could really build something great here. And maybe they will. But it just doesn't fill me with confidence. It doesn't fill me with confidence. It feels like they got the $200 million investment and they were just like, fuck everyone else. You know? Fuck all the investors. Which is what it is, what it is. Have I completed Red Dead Redemption? No, I haven't actually. I got to a really key point in the story and then kind of just stopped playing it. I don't know why either. I need to get back into it. I don't say, if you've played it, don't say what the point is because you probably know what I'm talking about. But I kind of just went a bit off after that because I kind of lost a little bit of interest. But we're not here to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, that's very different. That's different. Okay, so I guess I'll give it another 2 minutes. If there's any questions, then I'll answer them. If not, I'll jump off, and because otherwise it's going to turn into Patrick Starr talking about why I banned him when he asked to be banned because he's overthought. He was like, "Ban me then." He was like, "Ban me." I was like, "If that's what you want," he was like, "Go on, ban me." And I did it, and he was just like, "Fuck, he banned me," which is hilarious. And then he got really upset. Right, what if you quickly go through the projects in the Discord from A0 to Centropy and talk about your confidence in project from 0 to 10? Oh, man. Okay. Are we doing this? All right. Oh, but now this video's already been half an hour, Sean. We can't just... Oh, fuck's sake. Like, I want to, but I feel like this video just... I want to, like... 30 minutes can turn into 40 minutes. You have nothing better to do. I'll have you know, I've got my daughter waiting to play some Mario Kart. So I think I do have better things to do, actually. Right. All right. We'll go with Aleph Zero. Okay. Aleph Zero, I would say confidence in the team, what they're building, direction, everything. We'll just lump it all together confidence-wise. I would go with a 9 at this point. A 9. Maybe that's a bit high. Maybe 8.5, something like that. 8.5. Let's go 8.5. Just because I've reached out to the team and they've been very accommodating to me in terms of like helping me understand the project. And they're absolute fucking rock stars, man. Like they are so smart. They're probably the smartest team out. You know, them and Quant, I would say, team-wise, the smartest teams in crypto that I'm aware of. And they deliver. They deliver on what they're working on. They communicate it and they deliver it. I have a high hopes in Aleph Zero. Tech-wise as well, it's a fundamental improvement on a lot of layer ones. Yeah, I really fucking like Aleph Zero. It's one of my larger holdings. Next we'll go Quant. I think you guys know how I feel about Quant. Love the project. There was FUD the other day about how the token wasn't central to the ecosystem anymore and how you could use Overledger without the token. And then Gilbert came into chat and was just like, shut the fuck up. That's not true. And yeah, Quant has all the potential in the world because their TAM is their total addressable market. If you don't know what TAM is so huge. It's so huge. Overledger touches so many verticals in the world that the potential wise it's just so fucking huge. It's just so huge. So Quant is like as close to 10 as you could get. Like, I don't think anything's a 10, but like a 9.999 or something, right? And I can tell even people are going to be like, fuck, you didn't give it a 10, you bastard. But yeah. Morpheus Network, I would go with a 7. I would go with a 7. Just because I think Morpheus Network are like one of the most undervalued projects in the space right now. Just potential wise, it's so huge. Like supply chains is such a critical issue in the world right now, and they do so much to address the situation. And you know, there's people who I know who work in the supply chain space, and they see what Morpheus are doing, and they understand how big of a deal Morpheus Network are, and all tokens are in circulation, which is pretty huge. And they're working with some big companies, you know, like Coca-Cola and what's the other one? Coca-Cola, the big, not UPS. Is it UPS? Yep, Maersk. Is it DHL? DHL. Is that right? It's been such a long day, guys. I'm losing it. DHL, exactly. So they're working with some really big companies, and they're already implementing. You can go look on their website at the companies that are integrating with their technology, and it's a lot. And at their market cap, it's extremely undervalued. So I would go 7.5 to 8, just because that's what I'm giving it. Are we going to do Unizen? Do you want me to score Unizen today? Based on everything I said today? It might be a bit unfair, to be honest. 9.5 from Spriggs. Yeah, Unizen close to perfect as you can get. I would say before all the DSR stuff, you know, the end of last year, I would say it was very high, like 8.5. Since then, it dropped to around about 6, because of the way DSR shaped out. And after this DSR proposal now, like a 4, probably. Just because, you know, I still think they have the potential to do something, but I think price will not recover if they're willing to stick with this current, you know, on this current trajectory, put it that way. I think the leadership needs changing, my personal opinion, and I think they need to address the concerns that are actually issues with the company. So yeah, Merit Circle, I like Merit Circle a lot. I think Merit Circle, I'm kind of being called to go and play some America, but we'll do right. So Merit Circle, we'll do a speed round. Merit Circle. Andy, who's the CM at Unizen, says, "Hey everyone, just wanted to drop a quick message to let you know I won't be able to continue as CM for the time being due to a personal change in circumstances. I no longer have the necessary time to help out here." Wow, wish you guys all the best. Well, Andy was in the chat with us, and I understand Andy's concerns, and Andy had agreed with everything we said, and they didn't listen. Fucking hell, Unizen. Right, so Merit Circle, we'll go with 8, just because I think Merit Circle have all the potential in the world, and the way that they manage their treasury, they still have over 100 million in their treasury now. They made some really smart investments, and again, I've had some good conversations with the team, and they fill me with confidence, and they're actually investing in games you'd want to play rather than these shitty blockchain games that are just awful. Yeah, I really like Merit Circle. I think Merit Circle is like, if you wanted to invest in the metaverse and play to earn and play to win space, but you don't really have the time to look at all the projects and you're gambling on all these projects. Merit Circle is like the index fund of for metaverse type stuff. So I like Merit Circle a lot. Checked another one. Check kind of gives me the same vibes as an early quant. In terms of like interoperability was not sexy back then, and it still isn't really. Interoperability. Look, tokenomics is different. Okay, there are issues with tokenomics on a bunch of these projects. Okay, and that's something that I've been trying to work on. But fundamentals. We'll talk about fundamentals. Checked has a lot of potential, and what they're doing for SSI is similar to what Quant are doing for interoperability. And if you want to understand SSI, look up self-sovereign identities and how they're so important going forward, and how important they'll be for the digital space going forward, for metaverse, for everything. Check's a project I like a lot, and score-wise, let's go 7.5 again. Alliance Block is a project that I like a lot, and I like their products a lot. Again, like on the topic of tokenomics, like it's been kind of detrimental to the project, like Checked has really. Alliance Block, they sell a lot of tokens every month, but again, they got a really rock star team, and I like the fact that they're bridging that gap between, you know, crypto, DeFi, TradFi, because it's going to be one of the bigger verticals in the future if you can bridge those spaces. And Alliance Block, I think, is still very early for them, but they have to. We have to get through these token dumps, I guess. But I like Alliance Block. I like Alliance Block. I'll probably give them like a 6.5, 7. And Syntropy is one of those projects where like I don't know enough about it compared to other people. Like other people probably know a lot more about it than I do. I have looked into it a bit, but not as much as I would have liked to give a proper informed opinion. But I really like what they're working on, and I think they solve a really key problem. But I would need to make an informed decision. I would just need to look into it a lot more than I have. I pretty much added Syntropy because other people wanted it. But yeah, there you go. Look, Patrick Star says it's 10 out of 10, so it's better than Quant. Patrick Star thinks Noise is better than Quant. There you go. So I think that's all the projects. We went through them. Did well. Yeah, exactly. Like Alliance Block over time, I think Alliance Block over time will look more and more attractive, I think. And it's kind of finding that equilibrium, you know. But I like Alliance Block a lot. I think I kind of invest in team and people a lot of the time. And Rashid is a gangster. I've had a personal chat to him, and he's a fucking lovely guy. He's a really lovely guy. And yeah, I like what they're working on. And they added a lot of C-level executives to their team, which is awesome. So yeah, super cheap market cap as well. What is that market cap? That is $24 million market cap, which is cheap. So yeah, I'm going to end it there, guys. I wanted to get on and talk about Unizen. You got me talking about some other stuff, so I might upload this video to YouTube, whether I feel like it or not. And maybe we'll do some more of these. Maybe we'll just get on the chat, the voice chat, talk it out, and maybe even in the future we'll, you know, I'll open it up for you guys, and you guys can talk with me, and we'll make it a thing. We'll make it a Discord thing. Oh, I hate Toad in Mario Kart, man. I hate him. I hate Toad. I hate Donkey Kong. I hate Cat Peach. She sucks. Players be like, I like playing Baby Mario. Baby Mario is who I always choose. My wife chooses Blue Yoshi. My daughter chooses the Inkling girl from Splatoon, I think. And I go with Baby Mario in a little cart. But wife always chooses bike. Daughter switches it up sometimes. Just give you a little inside Mario Kart knowledge right there. Little Bongo Mario Kart nights. Anyway, I'm going to go, guys. It's good talking to you all. And yeah, we'll speak soon. Bye.